Today we're looking at a Vauxhall Mokka 2014 plate, and this one keeps setting the alarm off randomly, so it'll go off, anywhere from 10 minutes after the alarm's armed. Can go off in the middle of the night, and obviously it's driving the customers' neighbours crazy. So it's a very common thing on these, and before you go wasting a lot of time on lots of different things, we thought we'd do a video and just show you what to look out for and show you what the fix is. So some of the telltale signs on these a lot of the time will be that you'll see code 128 in the dash. You might even see your bonnet open sign there, and you might see that just randomly flick on and flick off as you're driving down the road, or if it's there permanently. Basically, code 128 is for the bonnet switch, so it's basically telling you that the bonnet's open. So if it's telling you it's open and the bonnet's shut, that ultimately is where your problem lies. So we always do a diagnostic scan. You don't have to if you don't have a diagnostic scanner. There's no point going out and buying one. If you've got the code 128 and your bonnet open message flicking up, then the likelihood is that's what's going to be your fault. We've done a scan anyway, so I'll just show you. So we've got it on the diagnostic machine there, and you can see the hood ajar switch, short circuit, and then open. So that's intermittent there, so that answers why the alarm doesn't always go off, but it goes off a good portion of the time. Another thing you will notice on this one, or I've noticed, is when you take it down the road, you're driving it, code 128 will flick up and then go off, flick up, go off. So that's where the area of fault is. So there's a micro switch basically that's built into your bonnet lock. So bonnet lock obviously is at the front. So it's in there, and it all comes as one piece. So this is the new one. As you can see, the wires coming off there, and there's a micro switch built into it. So we basically need to replace the entire bonnet lock piece, and then that should fix our problem. So in order for us to do that, we're going to have to remove this panel, get it out of the way. It's pretty straightforward, so we'll do that next. We've got to take out all the little plastic poppers. So we'll get all those out, and then we'll get this panel off, get this bonnet lock replaced. And then that should be it, and job's done. So we'll get this off next, and then we'll go from there. Okay, to get these little tabs out, ideally you want a little trim tool. Flathead screwdriver will do the same if you've got one of these kicking about. The centre piece comes out, and then the piece underneath will also lift. I've started a couple. So you take the centre out. So what you'll notice on the edge is I got a little cut out just on the edge of the clip. And you can get your trim tool in there, and you can just pry that up just to get it started. And you can get underneath, remove the centre piece, and then you've just got to get underneath the bit that's left, and there we go. So we'll just carry on getting the rest of those out. Alright, so that's all our clips out. So now we should be able to lift this piece up. It's just tucked under there with a lip, and then we can see the bonnet lock. So the bonnet lock bolts, they're 13mm. So there's one there. So we'll get those out next, and then we'll unattach that cable, and then we can fit the new lock. So ideally for this, a ratchet spanner, 13mm socket, whatever you've got kicking about. So we'll just get those undone. There we go, pretty straightforward. So we'll undo the connector, which is just round the back there, just get that off. There we go, and now all we need to do is we need to release the cable. So the cable comes through there. It's It's got a little collar on it, and there's a couple of little tabs that you need to squeeze together so that it slides out. So we'll unhook the ball out of the little groove in it. I'll just grab a pair of pliers. So we just squeeze the tabs together, and we should be able to pull the cable through like so, and there we go. That's our bonnet lock off. So we'll get the new one fitted now, and then we'll get it on test, try it out, make sure the alarm doesn't go off, and then you know, we'll have it back to the customer. So fitting the new lock, obviously just as straightforward. So you've got your hole there for the cable comes through. So we'll just push that through first. Lock that in place, make sure that you can see the little clips splay out. Pop the little ball back in the groove by there so that this piece will work and free your lock. And then it's pretty straightforward. We'll put our 213 mils back in. And don't have to over tighten these, just snip them up so they're reasonably tight, but don't overdo it or you'll pull the threads and then you'll have a lot more problems. So that's that done there. Plug our cable back in, and then there is a little locator behind that I'll latch that into in a minute. So then we just pop our cover back on. So again, very straightforward. Just hooks under the front. And there we go. And then we just pop our plastic tabs back in. There we are, we're almost there now. And there we go, so that's pretty much it, front's back together. What we'll do now is we will just clear the codes with a diagnostic machine just so they're not in there, but if you don't have a diagnostic machine it doesn't make any difference, because once the bonnet lock is fitted and it's working, the codes will make no difference to you. Code 128 will clear on the dash. Then my advice would be just shut everything up and leave it for 20 minutes and just check that the alarm doesn't go off, and that should be the end of your faults. So if you want to see any more content like this going forward, obviously as we always say, we'd be grateful if you could subscribe, show us some support, that'd be great. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.